Welcome to the program. I'm Mark Imperial. This segment's being brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy professionals get their books done and published to educate consumers, grow their businesses, and to leave a legacy. I'm doing a series of spotlights on remarkable business intermediaries from across the country. And joining me on this segment is Philip Webb. He's with Transworld Business Advisors of North Central Alabama. Philip, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you for having me. Appreciate you
Philip,
inviting me.
tell us a little bit about your work and tell us specifically who are the types of clients that you specialize in working with?
Well, basically, what we do is, as an intermediary, we're an advisor first. Our job and our responsibility is to go out there and source sellers out there that are looking to sell their business. It could be anybody from somebody wanting to sell their business to a second and third generation. We analyze their business first to try to get an evaluation, and then we confidentially network their sale out there. We have a plethora of buyers, so we source buyers out there that are qualified, and then we help them negotiate from there. So our job and our responsibility is to basically help them achieve their goals.
Since business owners are really great at growth, and running their businesses, when it comes to selling their business, do they know where to start?
A lot of them don't, and that's where we come in and try to educate them. Sometimes we talk to people a year before they even sell their business. The number one thing that we want to try to do is try to figure out what the exit strategy is for them. Uh, Whether it's a main street type business, which typically a main street is kind of your small type businesses, to a sub middle market type business. We want to make sure that they've kind of set the exit strategy available. And then what we do is we help educate them from there. And if they're ready to sell, then we're there to help them too.
When you start to work with business owners that are considering selling, what do you find that most of them are lacking as you start to work with them and look at their businesses? What are they lacking in order to make their business attractive?
I think the number one thing is, and this may have to do with a lot of your small businesses, the business doesn't run itself. The owner really has to do a lot of the work, and you have to replace that key person. And I think that's your biggest challenge right there when trying to support your information on the business. And the buyers are looking to see, well, okay, how do I replace that? And I think that's your biggest function right there when you're trying to sell a main street type business is how do we replace the owner and how do we make the mousetrap better?
One of the inspirations of this series is the fact that very few people really understand or even know intermediaries exist and the value that they bring to helping that business owner. Can you kind of give us a 10,000-foot view on the areas that you can help business owners with and get them the most for their business?
Yeah, absolutely. What we do is, and I think I mentioned it before, when we're trying to help people sell their business, an intermediary is really good because a business owner really needs to be working on their day-to-day operations. When you try to sell your business, it's a daunting task because you have to go out there and evaluate your business, analyze it, be able to put strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats out there, what we call SWOT analysis, and then be able to, work directly with buyers. And depending on what type of business you have, it may take up a good bit of your day when you need to be working on your operations. So an intermediary kind of takes all that out. And then they're also a third party too. So they're working directly with the buyer and the seller because they are an intermediary. They're trying to help the buyer achieve those goals and at the same time help the seller get where they need to go in their next best opportunity.
I'd imagine there's a lot of preconceived notions out there or myths and misconceptions people hold when it comes to selling a business. Like, do they feel like oh, I could sell. It's just like selling real estate. What kind of like myths
Right.
or misconceptions do you hear out there that people find and quickly find themselves overwhelmed?
Well, I think that what happens is a lot of your sellers really are very proud of their businesses and they don't understand where valuations and multiples come in. And they just assume, well, I've been taking out this kind of cash flow or I've had this kind of revenue. So my business is worth way over what a true, I guess, buyer would look at. So, it's not like you're selling a house and you've got basically a downstairs and you've got to go in and renovate and you've got to go in and figure out what curtains look and stage it from there. This is basically pure recurring revenues and then looking at the cash flow to support, what you're trying to list your business for.
We're coming out of this pandemic, and even though that's triggered a lot of business owners to think, wow, I think it's time to sell, but they're also worried, is this an okay time or a good time to sell? What's the market been like in your area, in your experience, and how's the opportunity today to selling a business?
I will say when the pandemic came around, it was very flat, and a lot of that had to do with there was a lot of uncertainty out there. There was basically a lot of your lenders out there kind of went into hiding, and all they were doing was trying to help folks out there with PPP loans and EIDL loans. So what we've seen now is that a lot of the sellers that have kind of gotten through that and they figured out how to be a lot more efficient, we're seeing a lot more strength out there and we're seeing a lot more opportunities. We still want to see more because there are way more buyers than sellers right now. And there's still good businesses out there that could be selling. And they're still trying to figure out the uncertainty of everything. But as far as the economy, we're seeing a lot of strengths depending on what industry you're in.
Philip, what inspired you to become a business intermediary? Like, how did you get started in this field?
Well, I was a corporate and commercial banker for 25 years. So I've always helped small businesses when it had to do with helping them in acquisitions. And I've worked directly in all facets of the banking world. So it just made sense for me to look at something where I'm actually helping folks acquire their business or people out there that want to sell their business. And, I built a team up of about 3 different people and it's just been fun. I've enjoyed it. It's my business. I run it, which is nice. I still have the corporate piece to it, so we can be as big as we want to be, or we can be as small as we want to be. And what's nice is we can empower people and move around, and that's helpful, especially being in the corporate world.
Before I ask you my last question, Philip, is there anything that I didn't think to ask that you feel is important to share with a business owner that's considering selling in today's economy?
Well, I think the biggest thing is preparation. If I could tell any business owner, don't try to do it when you're down. Always try to do it when you're either uh, you've had a business, you're seeing good results out there. That's the best time to sell. And then being able to prepare that information, have that information available, surround yourself with a team of people. You want your accountant, your attorney, because there's a lot of difficult information out there and you want to be able to support yourself with the team. And obviously the intermediary is part of the team too. We're more of the project manager than anything else, trying to herd everybody together when it comes to selling a business.
For business owners that are resonating with your message today and they know they want to get their stuff in order, if they'd like to speak with you, how do they find you, connect with you, and learn more?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. They can go to my website, and my website is www.tworld.com/Birmingham SW. They can also reach me on my email address. It's pwebb@tworld.com. And that's buyers and sellers too. So I help a lot of buyers and educate them also. So
Terrific. This has been great. Philip, I really appreciate you stopping by and sharing with my audience today, and I wish you continued success for you and for all of your clients.
thank you very much. And I appreciate the invite also.
That was Philip Webb with Transworld Business Advisors of North Central Alabama. And this segment's been brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where business owners and professionals get their books done and published to educate consumers, grow their businesses, and to leave a legacy. That's all for now. I'm Mark Imperial, and thanks for joining me.